The snow whispered as it fell, slow, deliberate, like ash drifting through forgotten air, while Linnea drove deeper into the northern woods of Sweden, the silence on the road growing louder with every passing mile. She had inherited a cabin she barely remembered, left to her by a grandmother long dead, though the letter had arrived just last week, written in fresh ink by a hand that no longer lived. It was only one sentence: "You must come now, while it still listens." The cabin stood crooked between two ancient birches, slouched like an old secret, its windows fogged from the inside, its roof sagging under years of snow and stillness. Inside, time had not passed. It had been buried. The furniture was coated in dust that trembled when she exhaled. The air held the scent of dried pine and something beneath it. Mildew, perhaps. Or memory. On the mantel, an old violin rested like a sleeping animal, its strings brittle but intact. Her own violin, packed but untouched in the back seat, felt heavier than usual when she remembered it. She stayed the first night out of politeness to the dead, but the dream arrived without invitation. She walked through a forest that breathed, each tree pulsing, the branches bending toward her like slow, starved arms. The ground was soft beneath her feet, almost wet, and beneath it she could hear the vibration, something humming, not music, not words, just presence. And at the edge of the forest stood something she could not describe. Tall, lean, faceless, made of bark and shadow, its arms stretched too long and bent wrong. She woke with blood on her fingers and her violin in her hands. The second night, she played the melody from the dream. She didn't mean to. Her hands moved on their own. Her bow glided with unnatural grace, and the notes it made were hollow and aching, like music played from inside a grave. The cabin responded. The floor groaned under her feet. The mirror in the bathroom fogged from within, and just beyond the window, the trees had inched closer. She found the trapdoor on the third day, behind a false cabinet in the pantry, sealed with old iron and stained with old fingerprints. Etched into it were runes she couldn't read, but almost understood, shapes that made her ears ring. When she pressed her hand to it, it pulsed beneath her palm, like something alive was breathing beneath. She didn't open it, not yet. But that night, she dreamed of stairs spiraling downward into warm, wet blackness. The locals had whispered of the Vittra, the spirits beneath the land, invisible beings that carved homes into earth and roots and punished those who disturbed their paths. Her grandmother's journal confirmed it. Pages full of drawings, symbols, warnings. One entry repeated over and over, "Don't play their song." But Linnea had already played it, and now she couldn't stop. Each day she played longer. Her fingers bled, but she didn't feel pain. Her dreams bled into waking life. The snow fell sideways, then upward. Her reflection began to watch her instead of mimic. Voices hummed through the vents, and her phone recorded hours of violin music at night while she slept. The forest changed shape. Paths disappeared. The road she came in on was now just trees. And then came the figures, shadowy silhouettes at the edge of her vision, tall and still, watching from the timberline. When she looked directly, they were gone. But every morning, new footprints appeared in the snow. Small, barefoot, circling the house. She opened the trapdoor on the 7th day. The staircase beneath it pulsed with heat, lined with walls of living root and flickering veins of green light. Her violin wept in her hand, vibrating with a low moan. She descended without thinking, one step at a time, drawn by something beneath language, beneath choice. And when she reached the bottom, The Vittra were waiting, not with faces or hands, but with music. They did not speak. They played her. Her body moved as they willed it, her fingers gliding across strings she could no longer see, her voice humming notes she never learned. The moss beneath her feet bloomed in rhythm, and the roots tightened around her ankles like silk. She played until the blood ran black. She played until her name was gone. And still, they asked for more. She became part of the song. When spring came, the cabin stood empty. The windows were clear. The floor swept. But beneath the earth, far beneath the roots, the melody continued, low and sorrowful and wrong. And on quiet nights, if the wind passed just right through the trees of Norland, people said they could hear it. A violin, faint but furious, as if the forest itself were screaming. Linnea's car was found months later, swallowed by moss. Her phone never turned on again. Her name faded from university rolls, her photo yellowed on the missing persons board. But in the woods, the footprints never stopped appearing. Small, bare, spiraling. And deep beneath, the Vittra listened, because the silence they offer is never still. It only waits to sing again.